Bungalowbill here. We are back in Neater, and we have just declared war against quite a few people. So, priority for this episode, capture as much territory as I can, see if any of these unexplored resource zones, I guess this one's not, but see if this one is still available to me. Probably won't be able to take it though. Take some stuff from the Lightning Hood, and spend the large amount of resources they've given me, and then start building a hover tank. So I'm going to get to most of that off of camera, and I'll be back with you soon. I've just got to say that this resource transfer is going to take me quite a bit of time. Fortunately, I don't actually have to transfer all of it, but I do have to transfer quite a lot of it, maybe 1 million materials or so. So the Exodyne is really fast. It's been just a couple of minutes since I declared war against the Lightning Hoods, and they've already hit one of my slower scout fleets.
Receiving.
So all that I'm hoping is that we actually, connect with, I don't know, a missile or something. Right? This is why the Exodyne is so scary when you're playing at lower difficulties. Like my first campaign run, I had to stop and go into the build mode for just hours and hours and hours, because as soon as I got done with the Deepwater Guard, the Lightning Hood declared war against me and then immediately just ran an Exodyne straight into me, which cost more than my entire fleet. And when your fleet is cheap, it just does this to it. Something seems to be wrong with the Exodyne. Holy Warrior. Oh man, it's outclassed. Don't know what's wrong with the Exodyne though. We are on alpha test. This is a little disappointing. Fortunately, we're not going to kill it. Probably. I've done enough that I don't really want to reload my last save. I should have saved before this fight. But maybe I should. Perhaps the Exodyne just spawned too low. It can't do anything if it's underwater. I think the solution is for me to just surrender this battle. Right, we did 3% to the Exodyne. Like, that's, if it functioned properly, that's about all that we would do. It just about killed the Pulley Warrior. So yeah, I'll end this battle. I'll lose my stuff, and that's the result that should have happened, except, you know, I get this awesome, it immediately fights a blueprint and whatever. Okay, look, I'm going to be the first to say that this is not the most interesting battle, where we just blow up a Fulgurite with about 700,000 materials worth of ships. But we're getting revenge, and we're only going to show this on camera once. We have approximately infinite lambs, although for some reason we're not shooting some of those because their angle of incidence wasn't good enough. They need to kind of come at us before we'll actually target them. This cram has left something to be desired, but it's dead. Yep, AI dead. And despawning. So once I have a moment, before I start building my hover tank, I'm going to slap some laser turrets onto this as a retrofit. Although I want to put them here, so maybe I'll just move the munition warners. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Time to figure out if my submarines actually work or not. Now, I was like 99% of the way done with building the laser turret for the Incredible Husk, but we didn't quite get there. One of the issues that we're going to see in this fight is that my submarines spawn surfaced, and there isn't a way to get around that. So they're going to get absolutely torched at the start because they have no armor. We'll see if we can get that on camera or not. It's going to be black when it starts. Let's turn resource bars off. So the main question for us right now is, can these submarines dive before the Exodyne just annihilates them? Looks like so far so good. Hopefully our missiles do something. They have a huge activation delay, so it looks like some of them had a little bit of trouble. They use prediction guidance because they're intended to destroy the Exodine, and the Exodine really likes to go in straight lines very fast. And I think these missiles would be a little bit slow to get the job done with the Akin guidance. Looks like the Exodine is operating correctly right now. We took 3% damage to one of our submarines. I think it was this one. Let's see if the water is doing good enough for us. Right now there's not a lot of water defending us because the Exodine is so close. That might actually be a huge issue. You can also add smoke on top for defense. However, smoke just isn't super useful when you have no AC. I was hoping that we'd be operating at a lower depth than this, but I didn't really debug these because I haven't been able to combat test them. I also seem to be having some issues with my sonar buoys not launching. I'll have to take a look at those. Or if they are launching, the cable is breaking. I thought I set the cable not to break. Oh no, there's another issue. Right, I told myself I was going to fix this. I realized what it was after I built them. I have a cable drum on them, but all that does is extend the cable length. I need a harpoon to actually attach the cable. So I'm probably launching my sonar buoys, but I'm not attaching the cable. So they're just sort of flying up into the air. Anyway, it seems like we're doing okay for accuracy. We're taking moderate damage, but not that much. We're not getting any healing because I have no repair bots, and Raimbot does not sit on these. Now that the Exodine is at maximum range, about 3 kilometers before she should start turning around, we're probably doing almost nothing to her, because I don't think we have... Maybe we do have range on these missiles. This is the good thing about prediction guidance. It takes the short way across the circle. Oh yeah. And these large missiles have a long lifespan and a lot of fuel. I didn't think we'd still be able to get her like this. She's down to 73%. I kind of wanted to take the Lightning Hoods head on, but I didn't think I had time to do it with anything except submarines. And even these submarines may have some issues against some of the ships that the Lightning Hoods have built. There's an Angstrom alive right now. We may see it kill one of my small ships that I was using for opportunistic tile capture. So anyway, I've got to finish that laser turret, and then I've got to fix my sonar buoys. They don't really need the cable drums, but it'd be really nice to have them. It'd also be nice to have a little bit more accuracy with my Seaways. It looks like that's about the limit that I'm going to get with these missiles. 2 of my depth first searches have gotten really far away. And one of them's still close to Raimbot, it looks like, because it got healed. I didn't put wheels on them. I was thinking about doing it. Often you'd put rubber on the bottom of a submarine so that it doesn't just die when it hits the ocean floor. But yeah, well, health below 80% sinking, nice. I did notice from before, the Exodine does not appear to have scuttle settings on it. We're going to see her very well now. Because now she's got a big sonar signature, and we've got sonars plastered all over us. Although we don't have torpedoes. We have to rely on our Seaways. I do have a version with torpedoes. I called this version... So these are retrofitted. They say depth first search. These are actually the flood fills. The flood fills are anti-surface. The depth first search are anti-submarine. I realized that I was accidentally using my submarine version against the Exodine. This will give a little bit of perspective on how strong the LAMS is on the Incredible Husk. it adds 50 firepower to it, and the whole thing only costs about 350,000 materials. That's really an absolutely monstrous lambs for such a cheap craft. So I just popped on 2 quick turrets. I didn't give them any firing restraints, although I really ought to. And really all that I'm going to do with them... Oh, well, that's going to get bodied. I have no idea where that Exodine is I'm going to take the laser combiner, go to the laser settings, and hold fire below about 90% energy so that if the lambs isn't being used, these will get used. I like to also add laser turrets that only fire at close enemies, but will always fire. And sort of the use for those is that you shoot down nukes and that sort of stuff, regardless. One of the issues that I have is that the Lightning Hood's ships are very fast and their territory is very broad, and it's letting them get just about anywhere incredibly quickly. I do have a submarine closing in on their other Exodine, but I really need to build some more submarines soon. This fight would be a lot closer if I had time to retrofit these husks first, but this is going to show why I either need submarines or something that really benefits from smoke in a way that these don't. This is the Angstrom, only has 182 laser firepower, but I do not think that this will go well for us. It's fast, so we're unlikely to hit it with our crams. Hopefully its laser barrage will get fried. So far, so good. Actually, if it has... So, what's looking good to me is if it has lambs, I can drain a lot of its laser firepower. I don't think these crams are going to do much to it. It's probably still accelerating. I'm expecting these crams to miss it by a mile. Yeah. Might have bounced it a little bit, but that's about it. Other crams coming through, but they're going to miss as well. It's also trying to function in Onyx Watch territory rather than its own territory at the moment. Looks like we just took down one of its lasers, but don't think that's going to do that much. There are the crams coming in. Yeah. Oh, that first set's going against the Fulgurate, that's why it's missing so much. Second set's not going to hit either, though. Oh, they get it. No, I don't think those got lambs. Really just hoping that we get decent Sea-Wiz damage in. Looks like one of our Sea-Wiz turrets has been decapitated. Otherwise, not doing so badly there. We're getting respectable damage in. Oh, our AWS got torched, though. I think we had to. Definitely getting some bad stuttering here. The performance should really be better than this. Finally got the camera to stick. Yeah, Angstrom's still doing pretty well despite the damage that we've done to her. I think all this bouncing is going to make it even harder for us to hit her productively with Sea-Wiz. And really, I don't see that much Sea-Wiz coming in anymore. I think that we've got most of our turrets decapitated at this point. We just don't have much in the way of laser defense. Oh, and I think our Sea-Wiz is actually spending too much time shooting down missiles, actually. There we go, losing some ammo supplies. So yeah, we need... This would definitely be a lot better if our lasers were shooting at the Angstrom, I think. I think we would have gotten a lot more damage through to her. Still getting some damage in, it's not like we're doing nothing, but I'm really going to need to get my submarines into battle soon to take these out. And with our, if the Angstrom didn't have missiles, I think we would have done better because our Sea-Wiz would have only shot at her. I think a lot of our damage was just done to missiles. Alright, we're not doing any more damage. I'm just going to build a few submarines and go wipe some of these forces out. We have a Juggernaut, actually. Well, maybe it'll take some fire for us. I doubt it, though. Volta is shooting at the husk. Juggernaut is out there. Oh, the Angstrom hasn't spawned in. So actually, we don't have to die instantly. The Volta does have a very nasty alpha strike, though. Only did 1%, but in other campaigns, I've lost cheap vehicles to her before. If we fly steadily enough, we might get her with these target prediction guidance missiles, but I am not incredibly optimistic about it. They are not fast missiles. She took a beating herself. I'm not sure exactly what that was that did it. Oh, this is the Solaris, not the Volta. Okay. Okay, that's probably what's going on then. That we didn't just explode. Definitely a lot of shots coming in, but these missiles are having a little bit of trouble, but there we go. Some decent hits. And that's pretty much that for her. It's primarily going to be the Angstrom now. Didn't realize that we had any Twin Guard allies nearby, though. That's kind of nice. Especially because they have so many vehicles with smoke. Still have to retrofit all of my husks, though. And maybe build a few more now that I've lost some, even though they're going to be so useless against the Lightning Hoods. They'll still be useful against other factions. And, well, they'll be useful against the smaller Lightning Hoods craft. Once I retrofit the lasers onto them. I should potentially have the water slightly less opaque. I turned up the opacity recently because... Oh, never mind, I can still see my submarine. But I turned up the opacity a little bit because I was having trouble seeing where the water line was on craft. I'd be interested to know if incremental garbage collection is on or off on beta right now. Oh boy. Alright. I was concerned a little bit for the Juggernaut there. So, Juggernaut not in fact taking fire for us, so we're still gonna get ripped apart. Like, maybe I should put smoke on... Well, I would smoke my own lambs. I kind of need lambs because I don't have armor, is one of the issues. Which means that if I put heavy enough smoke to actually do anything on the husks, which are not even...
Listening. Engaging now.
Targeting the Angstrom.
Engaging now.
If I put strong enough smoke to do anything, I would need very high AP on my lambs. Looks like a Pulley Warrior missile coming in. These are medium missiles and not the largest that would be coming in from the Flood Fill. They're also APN and not target prediction, but they're more agile than the large missiles and are still making decent progress. These fights are definitely not of the size that they should be causing these giant stutters. Okay, these look like large target prediction guidance missiles coming in, although it's not the direction I thought they'd be coming in from. And they're petering out. Still can't get that follow mode camera to work reliably, though. I think impact damage should be reciprocal. Right, like... when you do impact damage to an enemy craft, it should do the same amount of impact damage to you if you don't have rams. That was a pretty sad showing from those missiles. Maybe they could have been a little bit more agile. Maybe it was the bouncing of the water that really hurt them, but they should have done a little bit better than that, I feel like. Looks like now that it became smooth, we're getting a few hits, but now that it became wavy again, we'll probably start struggling again. Even our crams might score a few hits if it was smooth enough. At this point, it'd just be really nice if the Angstrom would despawn. It'd also be nice if I didn't have to fight these water skimmers in Onyx Watch territory, because this bouncing is really annoying. Also, the Lightning Hood's love for distance is kind of annoying sometimes. Okay, here we're getting some decent hits in, it looks like. Oh, never mind, and then we're missing a lot. Not the most agile missiles, they're definitely relying on how steady the Lightning Hood's water skimmers usually are, which is not the case when you've got these giant waves, and they spend half their time flying, so getting a lot of misses that way. Yeah, I should potentially have turning thrusters on my missiles as well. Although, I would probably need to make them remote guided to free up a component slot for it, or just make them longer. But I don't have the time to rework the entire body of the submarine to make it taller to fit a longer missile in. Alright, it looks like we finally got a despawn. That took so long. Alright, this is probably going to be the last battle of the episode, and I haven't built anything yet. So, here we're fighting another Exodine. I think this is the last one, although I can't be too certain. Anyway, we have 2 husks and a flood fill, which is disguising itself as a depth first search, that are basically doing all the damage, and then, you know, a few Poly Warriors and AWSs that might chip in. I imagine the flood fill would win eventually, it's just a question of how long it would take. And if I'm really lucky, the husks will actually do some decent damage to the Exodine. And it looks like that's the case. She's having some issues getting up to speed, and that might give us some decent cram connections here. No, just barely missed. Close though. But we managed to get our own laser damage in. These waves might give our missiles a little bit of trouble, but no, they're getting in nicely as well. And despite being a bit more expensive, I think the Exodine is a bit less scary than the Angstrom. And yeah, it looks like she's already taken substantial damage. These blue beams are our own lasers. Hopefully we're not roasting ourselves too badly because I didn't have time to put firing restrictions on them. So they're relying on failsafes, and well, if you've seen me build other laser craft, you know exactly how well that works. Yeah, it seems like these lasers are adding up to some nice block confetti. Already down to 82%. Very respectable laser damage in. Exodine, not a lot of speed right now. Must have lost almost all of her thrust. So the Sea-Wiz is absolutely destroying her. And she's not launching many missiles to stop us from using our active defenses to wreck her. Oh, and she's not going fast enough to dodge this. Not the damage I was hoping for. Not sure what happened there. We dealt almost no explosive damage. Those seemed like really good hits and just nothing. Maybe they bounced and exploded a little bit too far away. I really should put inertial fuses on them. Our missiles probably getting confused by the remote guidance and how much the Exodine is bouncing. Definitely a possibility that I should put APN, not remote guidance, their target prediction guidance. Possibility that I should put APN guidance on them. I didn't think it would work well enough. Oh, that's a lot of decos falling out, isn't it? And just a lot of blocks in general. Looks like we finally got a decent explosion in. So yeah, this time, I was gonna say much better results. The fact that these are both at 88%, to me makes me think that they collided with each other. Either that or... No, the way that these laser turrets are firing wouldn't do that. Yeah, one is damage on the left, one is damage on the right. These guys probably collided. Although this looks like a popped turret. And these turrets are ammo ejected with emergency defuses. They shouldn't have popped turrets though, so that can't be it. You can see this one's surviving with no armor on it. I suspect that they just crashed into each other really hard. A bit expensive, but I'll repair them up. And this episode didn't get much building done, so won't have a new vehicle ready for the next one. But hopefully with all of the Lightning Hoods fleets that I've destroyed, I'm actually going to have a little bit of time to build some craft in the next episode. I think the hover tank is going to take me a while, but I do want to do a decent job on the turret, because I intend to reuse the same turret on a battleship later. Actually, I intend to reuse a lot of my weapons on that battleship. Maybe not the cramp cannons, I was considering them one way or the other. I think I see GPP. Yeah, that was a little piece of a GPP. Let's let that despawn a little bit faster. Cut the battle off here. And I think I'll cut the episode off here as well. I'm gonna do a little bit of logistics before I actually save the campaign for next time. But don't need to do those on camera, so I hope you all enjoy watching, and I hope to see you in the future.